get things started. Ready? Go!
Hello and welcome to Bounding Into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. Today we're going to be talking about the box office and Venom: Let There Be Carnage taking the top spot, leaving Shang-Chi in the dust. Before we get to that, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed. YouTube does like to unsubscribe people for whatever reason. And then I also encourage you to share this video with your friends and family. So as I was saying, Sony Pictures' Venom: Let There Be Carnage took top spot at the domestic box office, blowing away all competition. The film had an opening domestic weekend of $90.1 million, beating out its closest competitor, The Addams Family 2, which only grossed $18 million. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was in a distant third, bringing in $6 million. The rest of the top five included Warner Brothers' The Many Saints of Newark, which brought in $5 million, and Dear Evan Hansen, which clawed in $2.4 million. The total overall domestic gross at the box office was $127.7 million, a huge surge from last weekend's $37.7 million. It's the largest grossing domestic weekend of the year. It's the highest grossing weekend since February 14, 2020, where domestic box office grosses totaled $156 million, with Sonic the Hedgehog topping the charts with a $58 million gross. Venom: Let There Be Carnage also brought in another $13.8 million at the international box office for a global opening of $103.9 million. The film's opening weekend makes it the highest grossing opening domestic weekend of 2021, beating Black Widow and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and F9, The Fast Saga. Black Widow opened to $80.3 million, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings had a $75.3 million opening, and F9, The Fast Saga had a $70 million opening. Venom: Let There Be Carnage also opened in fewer theaters than Black Widow and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Venom only opened in 4,225 theaters, Black Widow opened in 4,275, and Shang-Chi opened in 4,300. F9 opened in 4,203. Disney's Jungle Cruise opened in the most theaters with 4,310. What might be even more impressive about Venom: Let There Be Carnage's opening weekend is that it beat the first film's opening weekend. The first film grossed $80.2 million back in October 2018. Even though it beat the first film's weekend, it still does have a long ways to go if it hopes to beat out the first movie's total domestic box office take. That film earned $213.5 million total. Variety reports that Venom: Let There Be Carnage had a production budget of $110 million, meaning the film will need to earn around $275 million globally in order to begin to break even. Given the film earned back its production budget, or really close to its production budget in its opening weekend, it's likely it could hit that mark at the end of its theatrical run. However, the movie will have stiff competition next weekend when the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, releases in the United States. No Time to Die opened in the United Kingdom and at the international box office this weekend, with The Guardian reporting it made $119 million. They further report the film grossed approximately $30 million in just the UK and Ireland alone. Another feather in Venom: Let There Be Carnage's cap is that the film smashed predictions for the movie. Specifically, it destroyed Box Office Pro's long-range predictions. Box Office Pro predicted at the beginning of September the film would have a $65 million domestic opening, and that was on the high end. Furthermore, they claimed the film would only have a $140 million total domestic run, again on the high end, and $100 million on the low end. It's already over $90 million, so it clearly smashed that opening weekend prediction, and it's on the way to destroy that total domestic run prediction as well. Not only did Venom: Let There Be Carnage blow out Box Office Pro's prediction, but it destroyed the numbers predictions as well. The numbers predicted the film would earn $55.9 million in its opening weekend. Clearly, it beat that. It's now over $90 million haul. The numbers also notes it beat Sony's own internal predictions, which were between $50 and $60 million after bringing in a massive $11.6 million at preview screenings on Thursday. Looking at Shang-Chi, the film came in third for this weekend, as I previously mentioned. That brings its total domestic grosses now to $206.1 million. It is currently the top domestic grossing film of 2021 right now, and the first to break the $200 million mark. It has grossed a total of $386.9 million at the global box office, meaning it very likely is now profitable, as based on the film's estimated $150 million production budget, it only needed to hit $375 million to break even. However, the film is still a poor performer in comparison to other Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Based on unadjusted domestic grosses, the film is still the sixth worst grossing MCU film, only beating Black Widow, Thor, Ant-Man, Captain America the First Avenger, and The Incredible Hulk. However, adjusting for inflation, the film only beats out The Incredible Hulk and Black Widow, meaning there's an argument that it is the third worst grossing film. And then even if you calculate in Black Widow's Disney Plus haul, when it was on Premiere Access in its opening weekend, you add that $60 million total to Black Widow's, I believe it's around $183 million, then it clearly defeats Shang-Chi. So there's an argument that Shang-Chi is the second worst performing Marvel Cinematic Universe film ever, looking at adjusted box office grosses for inflation. With that said, Shang-Chi should beat out Thor: The Dark World in unadjusted gross, as that film's total domestic gross back in 2013 was $206.3 million. It also might overtake Ant-Man in adjusted gross, as that movie only made $180.2 million back in 2015. Adjusted for inflation, that's $207.9 million. Still, the box office gross is nowhere near more recent MCU films like Spider-Man: Far From Home, Avengers: Endgame, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Infinity War, and Black Panther. It's also unlikely the film will even beat Ant-Man and the Wasp, which grossed $216.6 million, given the fact that it's now facing some stiff competition in Venom: Let There Be Carnage and No Time to Die in the coming weeks. That is my breakdown of this weekend's box office. Let me know what you think about the box office numbers in the comments below. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding Into Comics.